then the party will continue to fill up with Dragonborn if that's the case.
See, I didn't know when I was making the character that there was already another Dragonborn. I just said what role needs to be filled so I can be the best team player.
Needed a big tank that can take a lot of damage because this campaign requires someone who can take a lot of damage.
Barbarian will be a nice touch.
Yeah, I just lost my barbarian character this week. He died tragically to a bunch of berserkers. He and the cleric, they both went down.
Oh no!
I lost my I lost another monk this week.
Don't worry, I'm now playing a Kenku sorcerer.
A Yankee sorcerer?
Kenku! A one-eyed Kenku sorcerer who was imprisoned by a hag for a while.
Uh-huh.
I want to play one of the little rabbit folk.
They look so cute.
They do.
Are you gonna follow the trope of falling?
Oh, that does remind me of as we're getting ready. I do have one more opening in my game tomorrow, Jasper.
Which game is it?
Because I know the one you just joined. In case you know anybody else who's got that time slate open.
Gotcha.
Because unfortunately, as I said, Storm unfortunately had to bow out. But
I do have a friend that I've been talking to that he did tell me today that he's been wanting to play D&D, and I invited him to this server.
Because I was thinking about Bunnyfolk when you guys said Bunnyfolk. That's what I was thinking about because it's a beast world, so.
I play a Bunnyfolk?
Yeah, of course there's Bunnyfolk.
I'm changing my character.
We already talked about playing a turtle. Then again, you haven't been introduced to the party, so as long as your class is still saying, because there's probably plenty of bunny folk on that continent.
I just don't usually do UA because some DMs don't really like UA content, so I'll just stick to.
It has tons of. This one has a lot of homebrew information.
Gotcha.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I finally read through that file that you sent me.
What'd you think?
It's really, really nice. Look how thought out it is.
Mm-hmm. And this is just I've still got stuff to work on for the full game setting, early game set. So I'm still working things out and coming up with things as I go in terms of backstory and races and whatnot.
Yeah. There's only so much you can prepare for a campaign before you just like, okay, yeah, I gotta start it and just see where it goes from there.
Yeah, like I said, in this case, it's a world setting.
Yeah.
With aspects of it that I've been working on for maybe upwards of 30... Well, actually, since Caldra's in there since I was 5 or 6. So that would have been 35 years at this point.
Oh. I'll be starting a game tomorrow night myself as a DM on voice.
Nice.
And as for this game, you guys are currently heading out of Port Nazaru on board your ship. You decided to start heading west along the waterways. You have supplies that should get you there and back. Then you'll be able to pick up more foods and stuff along your way. That, and you do have at least one druid still in your party. You used to have 2, but you still have 1, so that can help. And you have the possibility of fishing along the water for other certain needs.
I can probably just do like some water, to help us move faster, and I have anything with wind.
Ren could always work on a trolling net.
Actually, Red, I did have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So, here's maybe a question for you. If someone tries to ride on my back whenever I'm in bird form and shoot, will Maybe a disadvantage for that.
They should be. They'd have to have a full harness or else they would be losing their balance.
Run.
Yeah.
Want to make a harness? We have 2 flyers.
Yeah, did I make a... No, we bought a harness from Lady Chaos.
Yeah, we bought the seat for the broom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A question
So
for
we'll give it a try?
Go ahead. What's your question?
I have a question just for curiosity's sake. What would happen if someone were to attach a line of rope to a bag of holding and kind of like throw it in the water as the ship is rowing as like a catching net?
500 pounds of water?
Well, you get a lot of water. You might get a fish or two in there too. You can give it a try. There's no guarantee. It might take some time to be able to get fish using this method, but you can't. It is possible.
Okay, I was just curious because like I don't even remember if we have one, but I just thought it was like, what would happen?
I've seen things like this used that way before.
Usually as a overpowered shotgun. Ball bearings that you can fit into the bag of holding, and then just pull the inside out and it ejects everything at a super fast rate.
My thought behind this is if should we since we're heading towards the peaks of flame, should we end up needing something to take care of some lava? Maybe having a lot of water would be helpful.
I don't think we'll have to deal with too much lava where we're going.
Yeah, and as far as water goes, bag of holding only holds up to 500 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's like a 20-gallon drum, if even that.
You got me. I got healing shit if we run into anything.
I was just thinking ahead of trying to be clever.
Feel you.
Now, maybe 500 pounds of dust or dryness marbles, maybe. Because one of those holds like 40 gallons, I believe, for one marble-sized bead.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. I can't add this to my to the thing. I was trying to add the sailing ship into there. Ah, that's really just picking the wrong one. That explains it. Alright, so you guys have basically a sailing ship. Your sailing ship can move a certain pace, 5 miles per hour, 120 miles per day. If I recall right, each one of the hexagons on the map is 8 miles. So let us get some math done here.
Uh-oh. I smell smoke.
20 divided by 8 equals. So, that means per day you can move up to 15 of the hexagons. And each day I'm going to be rolling on weather to see whether or not the winds start to blow.
Oof.
And if the wind is blowing, which direction, how bad. Because while most places it'll be fine, there is an area where if the wind starts to blow bad enough, you can end up in a lot of problems if you get blown out to sea.
I also have the control water spell, so I do some of those if we...
Oh, sorry. Each hex is 10 miles. That's even better. So that means it's actually No, so that's not better. Sorry, you can move 12 hexagons a day, not 15. My bad. It's late. My math brain is not working properly.
That's okay. I woke up from a short nap, so I know the tired.
Yeah, I was playing a new survival horror game that my friends thought were going to be more like Phasmophobia, and instead we kept running into death traps. And only on the last mission that we were playing did we run into the undead there, and it was yeah.
So instead of
Let me click that.
Instead of what?
I'm trying to think of that Friday Night at Freddy's or whatever. Where you got
Hey,
the
Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
That's
yeah,
Freddy's.
the where it's like where you got like the dead Chuck E. Cheese looking
Yeah,
animatronics.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
What about it?
So instead of that, it turned into more of Friday the 13th.
Uh,
What, a bunch of teenagers doing it?
it wasn't like any of that. No, actually, no. It's a game with a bunch of several. You're playing Egyptologists, and you are searching a tomb for a mummy, and a mummy's relic. And there's traps in the tomb, so it's actually pretty cool. Unlike Phasmophobia, where it's a bunch of ghosts, and you're just trying to figure out what kind of ghost it is before it gets mad and kills you.
Ooh, fun.
Or Ghost Hunter Core, where you're actually trying to exorcise the ghost after figuring out what type of ghost it is.
Oh, by the way, the sails.
Is?
Remember, the sails are magical.
Mm-hmm.
They
Which will help you when it comes to weather.
So on the first day, the farthest we're going to be able to travel is just to that curve to the left side of the bay.
Yeah.
If I do the control water, will it move us faster? It's concentration up to 10 minutes. It's 100 feet.
Not really on the ocean. There's just too many things that
Okay.
would working against you, or that really doesn't affect the speed of your ship. Now, if you were talking about control water and like a river or something like that, then you can you could get enough lift under your ship to have that make a difference. But not when it's a sailing ship. I'm just looking something up. Sorry.
Now there was something that Ren was going to be working on while we were cruising, but I can't remember what it was. Actually, there was a few projects.
I remember at one point Torin had asked you if you would make basically like a firework to alert you all if we got into trouble.
Oh yeah, that's right. The arrow. Yeah. Meant to buy a fireball scroll.
Oh, Lord.
I think that's my favorite part of this group is hearing him chuckle and then hearing Jasper be like, "Oh my god."
Oh, she knows my 3 different chuckles.
Yeah. And that one worries me. And of course, it comes after, oh, I meant to buy a scroll of Fireball.
My troublemaking chuckle.
I mean, you are now a warlock to a patron of chaos, so How about it, man? Playing the character.
Yeah, in true, he has become chaos incarnate, hasn't he?
He kind
He's
of
always been.
already was, but yeah.
That's besides the point.
Before it was kind of for no reason. Now, like at least he has the reason of it's his patron. So. Look, man, I'm just following the rules.
Alright, time to check the weather.
What was supposed to be a 3-hour tour?
The weather is quite nice today. 1, 2, 3.
So who's got the control of the ship, anyways?
You and your party.
What's that?
You and your party. Oh, well, if you're talking about actually moving the ship token, that's me. Because you said you gave me a location of where you want to go to, and unless a storm comes up, I don't think we're deviating it.
Yeah, that's what I was just making sure of, was who is controlling the token.
Yeah. Me, because I need to be able to count. Alright, so day 1, everything's fine. Day 2, a storm has been blowing in. Let's see which direction. North. What is north? East, south, west.
Trim sails.
The wind is blowing north. That means it'll be the thing will be at 75% of movement speed, given the direction you're going in. Until you get about here. So let me calculate something real quick. 1, 2, 3. So that's 30 miles. Sorry. Math. Alright. So I'm just going to reduce the... Let's see. So it takes 3 normally to go there. I'm going to say it takes 4 to get there this time. So you use up... to get there, you use up 4 of that. 4 of your 12, which means you're down to 8. But now going down south, because the wind is blowing north, it's going to take half of that to get down there. Hello?
Hello?
I was making sure you guys hear me.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were
cool.
listening.
So you get about there by the next day. So the wind just starts blowing the other direction of your sails, and you guys have to use your special sails to try to keep on course. Another tricks that you use when you need to go against the wind on a sailing ship.
Would you be able to ping that again?
What?
Would you be able to ping that again?
Ping what?
Where we were at.
I don't even know anymore. I'm sorry.
Okay. Good.
You're just trying to break my brain, aren't you?
Oh, I was looking at my character sheet, and you're like right here, and I'm like, I didn't see that.
All right, next day. Let's see if the storm is still raging or not. Ooh, God. Yep, the storm, not only is the storm raging, it has gotten a lot worse. Which direction is the wind blowing?
And you see the demon
Still
blowing
blowing north. Who is controlling the wind on your ship for the sails?
Torin would be, since he'd be the one attuned to the sails.
Alright. Where is character Torn? I hate when these things don't load for me. There we go. And because his character sheet is sadly on... That's right, that's why we had to make him sick. Unfortunately, Torin is sick and can't activate the wind spells at all, so instead, your ship is actually being blown off course. Let's see by how many.
And you see the quasit over on the side of the bow.
Ooh, 6. As your ship through the day it is blown off course up to the north. Next day.
Why do I not have any good wind spells?
Next day, the wind has finally gone down, and you can proceed back on course.
Wait, can I do Gust of Wind to try to keep us on track?
The storm's over, so you're already good there. Alright. Your ship is no longer trying to head to the west. Next day. It is all nice and clear out.
Here we
Alright, you're now 5 days into your journey.
Alright, during this time, Ron will probably be working, not during the storm, but during the calm days, working on an alchemic arrow for the flare shot.
Alright. Give me a intelligence check for that. What are the rest of you guys doing during these days?
Erdan will be sitting in the crow's nest and in between making meals.
Alright.
Okay.
Give me a survival check, or do you have cook's utensils?
I don't think I do.
Then give me a survival check for your meal making. Let's see how good these meals are. Because you've actually got stocked some decent ingredients.
And would that be
Unfortunately, something goes wrong with the cooking. Wait, what's the wisdom save for?
I pressed it on accident.
Oh, okay.
she's pulling one of my tricks.
Something goes seriously wrong with the cooking, and somehow too much salt gets added to the meals, and pretty much everybody by this stage is throwing up over the edge. Not because of the general shaking, but because the food quality is so bad that they're essentially banning you from the kitchen from now on. Someone else gets to take it over now.
I mean, I can give it a shot.
There's my intelligence roll.
Alright.
I added the proficiency with the alchemist supplies.
Alright. And so you're making arrows?
Yeah, I'm making a... Well, I could try to make a few if I can.
Alright, give me a 1d4. You have enough supplies and enough talent to make 4 of them.
Ooh.
But you're now out of supplies for making arrows like that, or anything else that requires that sort of incendiary.
That will be fine. At least we have something to either signal or set on fire.
Anyone else doing anything for the stage of the trip?
I am walking back and forth across the deck, putting things back in their place that got blown and rolled around from the storm.
I'll help him with that.
Your fellow sailors very much appreciate your hard work, and they start singing sea shanties with you. GM unfortunately does not know any sea shanties. Feel free to improvise.
What would
Alright.
What would I call these arrows?
You can name them whatever you want.
Girl, go boom.
Flare shots.
But they would have the ability to do splash damage. I'm seeing 2d8. Like, you can basically hit a square that's unoccupied, and it'll do it'll explode and do damage to the surrounding 5. 5 foot, anything that's within 5 feet of it. 2d8 damage.
Ooh.
Nice. Added bonus.
2d8, you said?
Yep.
Now, more than likely, he probably would have done 2 arrows and 2 bolts, considering that he's not sure.
That's fine. The difference between arrows and bolts with that survival check, that's up to you how you wish to make them, as if they're arrows or bolts. But you don't have any additional materials to make anything that can do this type of splash damage. You've used up those materials with the 4.
That works.
After I get everything organized up top, I'm going to make sure that none of our ingredients have spoiled.
All right. Give me either nature or survival check for that.
All right. Can I roll my new dice?
Sure. Just tell me or take a picture.
My son has my phone. Let's see. Give me 1 second. It's a 3.
Oh.
All right. So you really don't have any idea of the condition of the ingredients. You look at them and you go, "Well, I think I can eat these." But besides that, you have really no idea. Ooh.
Alright.
The winds begin to blow again. I give this a 75% chance of the winds. Like, you have to be at that. I'm rolling a 1d100, and I keep rolling high.
I say this time we trim the sails and weigh anchor or set anchor.
All right.
Yeah.
Wind is blowing north again. So you guys spend the day anchored up close to the Mistcliff Mountains?
Yes.
All right. Weighing anchor it is.
Do we have a fishing rod?
Let's say you picked one up at some point. You can fish over the edge.
Yeah, I'm sure that as part of the supplies, we'd have some sort of fishing gear.
I'm going to fish while we're waiting this out.
Alrighty. Give me a perception check and roll survival for the actual fishing.
Roll survival for the actual fishing.
And then everyone can give me a perception check.
18.
All right. You managed to catch a nice big fish, enough to feed at least the main part of your crew, like your team members, for the evening. Jasper, you happen to be doing your duty up on the crow's nest at this point, even though you're anchored and the storm is blowing, and you see along the beach, kind of heading in a northeasterly direction, are several figures clad in what looks to be black armor.
Climb down with the rest of the Bruno.
I didn't make out what you said. I'm sorry.
Climb down with the rest of the crew now.
Climb down. Okay. Thank you.
So, people in black armor over there. It probably won't come out this way, but just in case.
Maybe we should attempt to move.
Well, how bad is the storm still brewing, though?
A torrential downpour with heavy winds blowing towards the north.
Maybe they won't try to come out and board the ship in the three.
We should be fine. Just stay out far enough if we see anybody try to come out, then we can go.
I get our little arrow, or our not trebuchet, but the
Okay.
crossbow looking deal that's in the middle of
ballista?
our ship loaded. Yeah. I get it loaded just in case.
Alrighty then.
It's always good to be prepared.
That it
It
is.
is good to be prepared, but with the way the storm is going, if they try to go by boat or swim, they're likely to take a good amount of damage or even drown before they get to us.
Yes.
Just in case.
But there is one little thing. There is rings of walk on water. And then, of course, there's a spell walk on water.
That is true. I've also got Call Lightning.
Ooh,
Which I meant to change over because
a ballista shot of lightning. That would be fun.
oh god. It does extra damage if there's already a storm. So ooh, fun question.
Good.
Call Lightning, if I hit them while they're on water, will it spread to more of them or do more damage?
It might, and it also spreads when ones are wearing metallic armor, which these guys are. But they're not on the water. They're just on the beach.
Just in case.
Probably just watching us.
Making sure we aren't going to try and take their land.
I see you, you see me. I see you, you watching me. I see you watching me. You watching me. Kind of like that. The old Wild West show cliche stare down.
I mean, given the distance, they probably only think there's 3 of us on the ship, so Ren probably would be undetected, and if they did try to board, probably get a good sneak attack on them because of his size.
You can also polymorph him.
Actually reminds me, I don't think I've ever picked my warlock spells, have I? Didn't think so.
It's been 2 weeks.
Well, considering that 5 days a week.
I know,
I know,
I know, Ren.
it truthfully, I know what I want. I just haven't put them onto the Roll20 sheets yet. But I believe I did stick them onto my Beyond sheet. But I will double check. Let's see. Warlock. Bell. Okay. Eldritch Blast. Toll the Dead. Arms of Hadar. And Witch Bolt were the ones that I picked. I love that Arms of Hadar, though.
Scary stuff.
What does that do?
A lot of damage.
You invoke the power of Hadar, the dark hunger. Tendrils of dark energy erupts from you and batter all creatures within 10 feet of you. Each creature in that area must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, target takes 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take reactions until the next turn. On a successful save, takes half damage but suffers no other effect. And of course, going at higher levels, add 1d6. And the fun part is, he's a level 2 arcane trickster, or he can cast level 2 spells, rather. So that would be like 3d6. You boys want a battle? Well, here we go!
I just got a lot more scary.
I mean, come on. I know, and then all of a sudden these dark tendrils sprout out from him to 10 feet radius. Oh, that's a lot
That
of
sounds
fun.
scary.
That reminds me of Pride from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, that's been so long since I've seen that show. You know, that is actually was a the last few episodes were actually redone, like alternate ending style.
Really?
Yeah, because the original airing, they managed to try to redo the original spell that did the damage, and it basically just made things worse. And well, oh wait a minute, no, that would be the end of this. Never mind. Like I said, my brain's fried.
Alright, so they're just sitting there watching us. Now, what happens next?
Well, they're not standing there watching. I said they were heading off to the north.
Okay.
Well, northeast from here. And you guys are just hunkered down through the storm.
Patches.
Alright.
So,
So who's cooking this fish?
Guess that would be me. And Turdon did such a bad job.
Erdon steps up and is like, I'll do it.
No. Over his arm for him. I got this. Rival? Yes.
whoever's cooking the fish, roll me a survival check.
Okay. Fine.
That was a nice piece of fish that was pulled from the water and killed. And you have sadly butchered it in your attempts to cook it.
I guess it is up to me now to cook.
Maybe Big Man should cook.
Yeah, we'll see how we can do. We each have a second +5 to survival. It's still real awful.
Is there any bit of that fish that survived?
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's like butchered and like so you got like little bit. You got these like chunks of fish meat instead of the nicely prepared like fish steak that you might have expected.
I'm gonna try and make a stew out of that.
All right. You take
Well-
the carcass that she was probably about to throw away that still has good chunks of meat and drop it into a pot and start it going. And by the next morning, the rain and the wind have slowed down.
Do I need to roll a survival check?
For the cooking, yes.
Okay. Let's see. 18?
You have managed to bring this fish back to life, sort of, in a cooking sense. The horrible chunks of fish have been forgotten by the lovely fish stew you have created from the remains of this fish. Taking
Enjoy, my friends.
Yeah.
That's better than what we did. Let's dig in.
Use more salt.
Oh, don't complain. You both laugh.
All right, that's another day. Another day's journey. Sailing along. Hi, Lyra. My cat is just walking by me in my dice. Oh man, you're out in the middle of the ocean, too far away to anchor anywhere, when another storm rolls in. Heavy winds blowing hard.
Oh my god.
Thorin is still sick in his cabin. He can't not control the wind. And it's a 4. The wind is blowing towards the west. Fuck. Can anyone do anything?
And I try to do Gust of Wind to
All right,
keep the wind moving.
let me see the spell.
Okay.
Alright, Gust of Wind, strong line of 60 feet. Alright, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. You'd be good.
Alright. So we're going to focus and concentrate, and you're going to reduce whatever number I roll for how many squares you move to the west by 1. As you spend the next 10 minutes working to blow your ship in the opposite direction through force of will, or at least knock your ship into such a direction that you're not going to be easily pushed by the wind, or as easily pushed by this wind. I rolled a 5, which means you're only moving 4 squares out of whack. Alright. But you are pretty tired from doing that.
Yeah, I would imagine that would use up a couple spell slots because it's only for a minute, but
Yeah. That's why I was looking to see if it was a cantrip or not. Alright. Next day. The wind has abated. Now, do you want to go straight down south, or do you wish to head back towards the more safety of the coast?
If we can get to the coast, I'd say we get to the coast and then start heading south, just in
Alright.
case.
Okay with that.
It gives us the least amount of immediate danger, I feel.
Alright, 1. You're hugging the coasts. Ooh.
I just found something that would be quite interesting for Run.
Nice.
Ooh.
So,
How you like that curse part?
as you sail close, once again to the coast, you can see the shore once more. And you can see numerous flowers. Large flowers that give you a vague sense of unease, at least to certain members of the party. As you're pretty sure you've seen such flowers before in an overgrown garden.
Nature check? Is it? Oh god, is it the flower?
That's what it looks like.
Flower.
Growing all along this coast as you're sailing nearby.
What is this?
Don't touch them. You see one of those? Don't touch it.
Don't touch it or don't get near it.
Don't touch it.
No touchy. Them things.
Last party member we had do that passed out for an hour.
Noted.
We talked to a Medusa. Not a good time.
Although they could come in handy as in a potion form, perhaps.
And I'm not dragging you back to the ship because you want to stop and get some of the flowers.
Mommy, I want to pick a flower.
No.
Now, as a party, you have choices right now. Do you wish to sail into this bay over here, which you know on your map is called Jakata... I can't pronounce that, I'm so sorry. Bay,
Jahaka.
or just to continue to sail heading down this way towards Shiluka Bay.
Hey, we got a druid. We got a druid, don't we?
Yes, that would be me.
You can do druid craft, right?
Cantrip? No.
Oh, really? Oh, bummer. That could have been
That was...
useful.
Sorry, that was smug. I got poison spray, primal savagery, and shillelagh.
The prediction of weather portion of the druid craft could have came in handy.
I didn't take it because Smug had it covered, but I have to change out cantrip at next level. Really use shillelagh or primal savagery, so.
Well, here's a question. Would anyone have a good nature check that could look at the horizon and see what the weather might be like?
Yeah.
Within the next, say, 12 hours?
Alright, let's find out. You can see from the darkening horizon that another storm front is moving in.
Yeah, I'd probably be best to the bay and try to wait it out just a little bit. Not getting blown off course. Damn day.
It's sad when my Florida Army boy senses kick in.
The bay?
Alright, so we rest in the bay.
Good
All
to
right.
me.
By the way, this is how far you got sailing during the day. Well, in the in the amount of time that it takes to sail a full day before the storm kicks up. So, as I said, the next day, the storm is going there. It'll cut you, depending on which wherever's, yeah, it's blowing to the north, so it will delay you a bit. But I think you can get into the bay to wait out the rest of the storm. So let's see, 1, 2.
Yes, that would be the idea.
Yes, and as you sail in and anchor up, you notice there appears to be an opening in the cliff over here, and what looks like a way of sailing in. Like you're about to cast on your anchor when you see that.
It doesn't seem slightly ominous at all.
It's too convenient.
Run reaches into his bag of holding and pulls out a small wooden box. Anybody for an adventure?
And it would protect us from the rain a little bit better and the wind.
Roll a perception check, guys.
First one's mine,
Okay,
second
that
one.
is a 17 plus 6.
All right.
How many 17s can I roll?
Oh my gosh!
You can see off over here by the lip of the river, there's a ship anchored.
Are they friendly or hostile?
Over here, you said?
Yep. Give me a second, and I will. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was on that map. Yeah, right about here. I didn't realize I was still up on the GM layer, moving that dot.
Not being hostile right now, then we're fine.
Anybody got a spyglass?
Oh. Hey, Torin.
Yeah, and unfortunately... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Does Torin have... Yes. Oh, here we go. Okay, inventory. He does not have a spyglass in his inventory. Though he does have a spell scroll 9th level.
Yeah. No. Don't steal my D&D boyfriend stuff.
Remind me, when we get back to civilization, I think we best invest in a spyglass.
I was unaware that it was something that we needed when I did my rounds.
Well, it might help when someone's up in a crow's nest, too.
The best I got for you is like an enhance ability that you should have, I think, advantage on for 6.
But still, that would be about You said that each square is 8 miles?
10 miles, actually. I was wrong the first time I said
10
that.
miles? Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's about 30 miles out. So
Yep.
I don't think a naked eye perception is going to see anything.
That's actually true. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am
It-
really bad at that, at telling distance and what people can see or can't see.
You're good.
I think by by just
So
by curvature of the Earth.
this isn't Earth. This is Ollaras. It's bigger than Earth.
Okay,
With
well then
with
that
that
means
with that being said, where we're parked, wouldn't that hole in the mountainside be about 10, 15 miles away?
Again, I'm really bad at visual distance.
We'll just say that we can see it, but it's a
I-
little bit away.
Yeah.
10
We can see the
miles.
big shape of it.
10 miles. You can uh possibly see something. It well, let's say it'd be easier to see something at 10 miles than 30 miles.
So that's why I had the ship brought the ship in closer.
Are we going in the hole or are we not going in the hole?
All right, so we're unaware of the ship currently, right?
No, you can see the ship because it appears to be heading towards you.
In the
We
hole.
should probably wait to see if this ship passes us or not. That way they don't see us running into the hole and decide to ransack our ship.
This is also true.
Run will have the ballista kind of cocked and ready to rock just in case. Oh, that reminds me. I found another item on that
The longbow at the
same.
ready just in case.
Indeed.
I saw another item on that same Reddit for Griffin saddlebags. Comet ballista.
Excuse the what enemy?
Um, hold on a second. Here it is. Okay. It's actually a heavy crossbow, but this crossbow is partially covered in cold shards of stone and metal and uses sling bullets as ammunition instead of crossbow bolts. When you fire a sling bullet from this magic crossbow, it flashes with blue light and leaves behind a brief, glimmering trail of cold, sparkling dust. Range attacks with this weapon deals bludgeoning damage instead of piercing damage. At any target hit, it takes an extra 1d6 cold damage. In addition, the first time you hit a target on each of your turns with ranged attack using this weapon, each creature within 10 feet of the target must succeed a DC 13 Constitution or take 1d6 cold damage. And now the fun part, the hailing comets. You can use an action to fire the crossbow into the air and speak its command word, choosing a point that you can see within 120 feet. When you do, the sling bullet scatters into icy dust and is destroyed, but magically conjures a barrage of minuscule falling comets above the point. The comets fall in a 20-foot radius, a 40-foot tall cylinder centered on the point and disappears once they hit the ground. Each creature within the area must make a DC 13 Dex savings throw, taking 8d6 cold damage on a failed save,
Ooh.
half as much on a successful one.
Ooh. Now the question is, how much would that cost?
Well, it's a rare item, so
A lot.
yeah, I think that would at least be 3,000.
We don't even have that much in the party fund.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, 2,700.
Actually, how much does Run has? Well, Run could always throw in his pot too. But yeah, I saw that and I was thinking, what if we were to equip that thing onto the ship?
And Torin couldn't be mad for us blowing holes in a ship because whenever they hit the ground, they disappear. So
Yeah. And it's ice, not fire.
why am I encouraging your chaos? I need to stop that.
Anyway, so we got a ship sailing towards us. Run has the ballista ready just in case they come towards them and start firing on them.
So you're moving the ballista to point at the ship that's approaching?
Excuse me. Not to point. Just a second. Okay. Not pointing at them directly, kind of pointed down, but looking at them just to watch them.
Right. And they probably wouldn't even notice you there because of your size.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can always use the hide action.
That way they don't feel threatened by a ballista.
I mean, as long as they don't do anything, then they don't have to worry about the ballista. Just let them sail on by, let them go about their way, and we'll go about ours.
Alright. After a bit of time, not exactly sailing against the wind, but kind of using it to let it push a bit around, the ship comes closer, and you see that while your ship has a ballista, that ship has several cannons. And it's approaching broadside, so 3 cannons are lined up facing you.
Oh, fun! Oh no.
Oh, joy. See why we could use that ballista now?
That's a new laugh I haven't heard before.
Oh yeah, you've only heard my chaos and my evil and my how was it described? My breathy laugh?
Or wheeze.
Yeah.
My favorite laugh that you do.
So, even though Run knows that he would be outgunned, he still, um, he still waits just in case.
All right. So you hear a booming voice calling out that says, booming male voice calling out saying, "Surrender your ship, your cargo, and your lives will be spared."
It's not
Who has the broom?
you.
Cool.
Um,
I attempt to immediately go stealth and try to like make sure they don't see me.
All right. Roll stealth.
I think I'll roll stealth as well, because I did say that I was taking the hide action.
To aid them in their stealth, I'm just gonna walk over to the edge. I'm just gonna wave with a big smile on my face and say, "Hello."
The booming voice again. "Do you accept these terms, or shall we sink you and sift through the remains of what you might carry?"
I'm gonna go ahead and like get a call lightning going. Just like let those storm clouds kind of swirl right above their ship, and the lightning kind of crackle through the clouds. Like, do we really want to do this?
The response you get is a similar spell forming atop of your ship. Apparently, you're not the only group with a druid.
Fucking druids.
I have a question. I got a question.
Yep.
So there are 3 cannons facing at us.
Yep, and now a spell charging overhead.
It's just something for just general knowledge. Could a bag of holding be used to catch a cannonball?
That's a good question. The physics behind that would be very hard. It'd be a very difficult chance. The majority of the short answer is no. It's unlikely that you'll be able to do that. The long answer is yes, but if you miss, you're going to get hit full on with a cannonball, most likely, and it is going to be devastating. The chances of making it, you'd have to roll very high in a 1d100.
I think that was the most fuck around and find out answer I've ever heard.
You can try it, but I can't guarantee your character will survive.
Okay, since we're talking about D&D physics, how about a portable hole, which would be actually bigger than a bag of holding by a foot or so, and it could just be thrown to the ground or onto the side of the ship or.
Mm-hmm. It can. It doesn't. Again, because it's a small target in and of itself. The chances of the cannonball hitting that specific target is still pretty low. But unlike the bag of holding, you're not having to hold on to it to see if you can catch it. So.
Okay, spells. What is the distance to? Oh, gotta be within 30 feet. Never mind. I'm sure that they wouldn't be within 30 feet of me.
No, they're not.
Although Eldritch Blast, on the other hand. Oh, darn it. I'm still just a few levels away from having this. Well, that's only they get disadvantage on saves. Anyways, I can always have Eldritch Blast on the
What's the distance
ready.
on Eldritch Blast?
120 feet.
All right.
All right. So what is going on with your all sneaking?
I was going to attempt to go to the opposite side of our ship, away from the ship across from us. Just kind of hop off the side onto the broom. And then was just going to stay real low and just kind of fly to the opposite side of their ship and just kind of chill there for a minute.
Or better yet, I could have Firebolt on the ready.
I could also Whirlpool. And it might get their ship down.
What's the range and scope of Whirlpool?
The range is 300 feet.
And the scope? How big does it become?
A cube up to 100 feet on each side.
All right.
And then the whirlpool part requires a body of water at least 50 square feet, 25 feet deep. Pretty sure we covered that. Use the whirlpool to form in the center of the area. Forms a vortex 5 feet wide at the base, up to 50 feet wide at the top, and 25 feet tall. A creature or object in the water is then 25 feet of the vortex is pulled 10 feet towards it. A creature can swim away from the vortex by making a strength athletics check. Your spell save DC. When a creature enters the vortex for the first time on a turn or starts its turn, takes 2d8 bludgeoning damage on vortex until the spell ends. Well, it's an option.
Well, like I said, while you are trying to sneak, I'm keeping the attention on me. That way they have a better chance of getting out unnoticed.
Did you catch my plan?
You're going to fly around to their ship.
DM.
What are you trying to do?
Erdon was, while he was sneaking, he was just going to go like to the opposite side of our ship, away from the ship across from us, and just kind of slink over the side of the ship onto the broom. I was just going to kind of fly the broom real low under the deck of their ship, but like above the water, to like their flank behind them.
All right. You are out in the middle of the storm, which keeps your visibility low. However, this also requires you to be able to hold on to your broom and not get blown off somewhere. So let's see. Give me a will save and an athletics check.
Should he get an advantage on the athletics because the seat?
I forgot about the seed for that stuff. But really, the wisdom saving throw is what you needed for this one, unfortunately. So you go out there with all the intention in the world of doing that, but the broom is completely being blown off course and is blowing back behind your ship, very far away from the other ship. And it's being blown towards the north.
So towards the hole?
Towards that direction, yeah.
Then I'll go down the hole.
Then I come back up the hole.
It's not really a hole. It's an opening in the cliff, really.
Oh, come on. Let me have my Tiny Toons moment.
It's been a long time.
little Daffy putting things down the toilet.
Thought it was bugs.
No, it was Daffy.
Ah.
So I've been flown into this opening in the cliff.
No. You're being flown towards it. You're far enough away that it's not going to be there for a while. But you're being flown in that direction. Because you're able to stay on your broom thanks to the seat, but in this storm you find yourself unable to control where it's going.
Okay, and how far away is that opening in the cliffside?
It's several miles away, but you're being blown in that direction.
Guess I'll just keep trying my best to fly back towards our ship at least.
What are the rest of you guys doing at this point?
Um,
I'm
Standing off.
I'm still keeping the attention on me while Run does his sneak thing.
unfortunately, I don't have anything that could help me cross the well. I do technically, but I think they would see a small rowboat being rowed across the way.
I have a fucking druid that has water walk. Just ask me.
Is that concentration?
I don't. Water walk. No, it's ritual. Not concentration.
Alright, ritual still takes 10 minutes,
Yeah,
which you don't have.
yeah. Run was. I knew that there was something I was meaning to buy, like a ring of water walk for everyone.
I didn't actually set off the call lightning spell. I just said that I was preparing it.
Alright.
So, yeah, so would that still take the spell slot?
Yeah, because you're using that spell slot at the beginning of the preparation.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyways, Run will. Since the ballista, one ballista versus 3 cannons.
Now with the storm, ain't not be accurate. They're going to be rocked down. All that.
Yeah, to fire with a ballista, it'd probably be a disadvantage to attack, anyways. Riz?
Yes, sorry, I was yawning.
Okay. No, that's okay. All right. So, but really can't do sneak per se onto the side of the ship. How far away are they?
300 feet away.
300 feet away? Hmm.
I have one other plan. As far as my spells go. You have wall of water that under the wall of water, see within range. It's a wall up to 30 feet thick, or 30 feet long, 10 feet high, 1 foot thick. So it's not going to cover much of us, but it could put a barrier between us and their cannons, because any ranged weapon attack that enters the wall space has disadvantage on the attack roll.
Well, wait a minute. Or no, they're 300 feet away. Never mind. I was trying to remember. There was a spell that I remember. I don't know if it was control water or what, but it said that it didn't have the power to damage, but it could have the power to capsize a ship.
I think that might be Tidal Wave, and that's not one that I have prepared.
Okay. Well, why don't we just draw them in closer? First
like a faux surrender.
Yeah, because at 300 feet, Run don't have much, But if we could get them in closer, he does have some toys. I mean, well, what's the distance on a crossbow bolt?
Not very far, I don't think.
Yeah,
What
it's
does it say in your crossbow?
oh, that is.
I have a I have
Up
a
to 120 feet.
I have a
30 to 120 feet. So
Yeah, you can't hit it from with your crossbow bolt
exactly.
from there.
But like I said, if we could get them closer, and if they decide to start boarding us, I mean, you know, we could still do some bondage on the captain.
what is so in my inventory I have a trophy from an animal that I've killed. What is a rare enough animal trophy that they would not want to risk destroying it that I could pull out? Because I don't know anything about animals in this world.
Roll nature.
Nature.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Boy, that's a fun -1 modifier. That's a 5.
Yeah, you can't sadly think of anything that might qualify for that, or anything at least that people like this, which it's most likely pirates, would care enough about.
Um, uh, uh, um, if I might suggest, let's do a fake surrender. Give a little false security. As he pulls out his um, his hand crossbow, and also have a little 3-inch diameter ball of iron bands with a wicked smile on his face.
Little one.
Yes.
If I were to show them me putting down my weapon, would one of your critters be able to stay hidden enough to hold it, and then when they get close enough to toss it back up to me for quick combat?
And you see the Grinch style grin roll across his face. Floof, oh Floof, and then you see his little demon buddy just poof right in front of you. Hand it to him.
Okay, and so I look at them and I pull out my halberd and I show them it's me putting my weapon down, and I hand it to Floof.
And Floof goes invisible once he gets.
Oh, nice.
When they get close enough, just toss it back up to me.
I don't know if he'd be strong enough to toss it back up to you.
Or like,
You can grab it.
or like
But,
have it. Would he be able to hop up onto the ledge of the ship since he's invisible, and then?
well, well, hold on a second. Let's see what a quasit strength is. I highly doubt it because he's got a 5 strength. And how heavy is a halberd?
6.
6 pounds. Oh, well, Grizz,
Yes.
Could he be able to uh, not wield the halberd, but would Floof be able to uh, move around with it since he has a 5 strength, but the halberd is 6 pounds?
Mm, have him roll a strength, an athletics check.
That would probably be just a straight strength check then.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when he tries to pick it up. Yeah, he goes to pick it up, and it's like, ugh. It's very much weighing. He can kind of lift it, but he probably can't carry it for very long without starting to gain exhaustion points.
Okay. So the best he could do is he just stand there with him and the halberd invisible since he is holding it technically.
Yeah, he can use it to lean on.
So that's the best you're gonna get.
And whenever you throw that little bondage ball, does it do any damage?
It doesn't do damage, but it has a strength DC of 20.
So say if I were to polymorph someone into a small creature, and then you throw the ball at them.
Oh, would like crushing damage? No, it's just well, wait a minute. Inventory. Where did I? Okay, so okay, no, they're just restrained.
Okay.
They get a chance for a DC 20 strength check to break the iron bands on its save. The item is destroyed and the creature is freed. If the check fails, any further attempt made by a creature automatically fails until 24 hours has elapsed.
So yeah, polymorph into like say a bunny, and their strength wouldn't be shit.
Hey, Jasper.
Yes.
Would you be able to make a perception check to see how many people we can see on their ship?
And see who's the captain?
Yes. I can try to do this thing.
Actually, I think Run should do a perception check as well.
Terrible, but not the best either.
That's a 16.
I've got this thing.
You're currently scanning the other ship.
Yes.
You see some people up on deck. They appear to be currently loading the cannons.
Oh, fuck.
By how many people?
It's raining. It is very hard to tell. You can see that there's 3 cannons. There's at least 2 people manning each cannon, loading, keeping things dry. And there's several other people wandering around, so you know that there's at least 8 people over there, probably more.
Can we tell any races?
Not from this distance, not in the rain, no.
All
But
right.
they do appear humanoid.
Once again, Jasper, you are the first mate. Captain's sick, and well, we're kind of fucked with them being that far out.
Actually, with my plan for Floof, would it be easier to use the mace at 4 pounds?
Well, either way, he did roll a 3.
Right.
This is why I didn't want to be first mate, so I didn't have to do this for everybody. I mean, either way, we're kind of fucked. Like, there's holes in all the plans, so I'm fine with drawing them near and trying to see what we can get off on them that way, but it's also going to bring their cannons closer to us, and that's going to suck.
Well,
I guess.
the thing is if they're sailing towards us, the cannons are facing away from us.
I guess in the worst case scenario, if push comes to shove, like a last ditch effort, Jasper could roll to seduce the captain.
Not happening, for one. For two, I would rather put up a wall of water so they have disadvantage on that shit.
There's definitely one spell I'm going to get when I'm able to.
And plus, my charisma, not that high. I'm working with like a -1 over here, so we don't want to do that.
Is Ardon able to make any progress on flying back to the ship?
You're still off the ship?
Let's see. Not quite yet, sadly. The other ship appears to be getting ready to fire at you guys.
Tell them we surrender so they can get closer.
Alright, fine. Alright, holler right across. We'll surrender.
All right.
I'll let the spell go.
So what do you say to them? And how do you try to yell against the storm? Because they're clearly using some kind of amplification magic to boom their voice over to you.
I don't think I have anything that can make my voice louder. Well, enhance ability, but that probably wouldn't work for any voice, so let's just scream as loud as I can. And just, and we'll surrender. They can come and take the ship.
Run can cast prestidigitation on you.
That works. Do that.
Or just wave a white flag.
Oh, but give me your underwear.
That one might have a brown spot on it.
Yours are too small, Run. I want to see them.
But
You have a white flag somewhere. I'll start waving it. I would know this ship, right? I'm first mate. You might have a white flag.
well, either way, you can still have prestidigitation cast on you, so that way it'll amplify your voice.
Yeah.
Say something like, "Let us parlay."
Blow that across the water to him. Are they? All I can see is the one from Pirates of the Caribbean. Parlay! God damn, whoever made parlay. French.
However, with Run hiding, he's now going to take this chance to cast invisibility on himself.
Oh yeah, and I'll also holler to them not to fire. Can't take the ship if it's got holes in it.
So do you wave your hands in the air? How do you single surrender, supposedly? to the other boat, exactly.
I'm not entirely sure on that one. If we don't have a white flag, I don't know. Prestidigitation, just hollering across at him. You can make your voice louder. I would just write "We surrender."
Torin's gonna hear it in his cabin. He's gonna be like, "What are those idiots doing?"
Well, he can't do shit about it. He goes to get up to leave the room to see what's going on and is throwing it next to the door. He's like, no, I'm not even getting involved.
All right. So the other ship gets closer and closer and closer. All the while, its cannons are still trained on you, so that, well, they could practically blow you guys up at this distance. As finally they get close enough to the ship to start lowering gangplanks, securing them with ropes.
Okay, with that, once the first grappling hook is tossed or the gangplank is down, the invisible gnome shall sneak across.
Alrighty.
And either way, I would get advantage anyways because I do have Cloak of Elvenkind.
Yep, yes you do.
But I am invisible, so with advantage, that would be a 24.
Alright, nobody seems to notice you.
Okay. We're gonna go below decks and we're gonna see what kind of malfunctions a gremlin can make.
Alright. Meanwhile, a contingent of the pirates start heading on board your ship, led by a gruff-looking woman with a mad look in her eye. She comes over and stops and looks around at your crew. "Which one of you served as the ship's captain?" she demands.
So that would be me.
She turns towards you and she grins a bit. Well, what do we have here? And she puts out a wider grin. "Kneel before me, little girl."
I'm just gonna look back at her and with that, fuck this bitch, I'm casting Blight. I'm not kneeling for nobody.
Alright, let's see. What level's Blight?
4.
Alright, so, okay. What's the DC on it?
It would be 16.
Give me 1 second. Because there is a nearby magic user attempting to counterspell it. Let's see what happens there. Stupid thing. There we go. Let's see. Counterspell. 1 second. I'm just trying to look at the spell itself. DC equals spell's level. So that means I have to roll a wisdom saving throw, correct? I'm not good with remembering counterspells.
Make an ability check using your spellcast ability 10 plus the spell's level, so it would be 14. See if they can counterspell it.
Where am I in relation to all of these people?
You're very far away at this point. You're, if I'm hearing the voice correctly.
Perhaps put the ship's map up.
That
No.
won't help because it's right now two different ships. I'll have to think of something for that. Maybe by next week if I make sure I write down the right note for that. I did not expect you to just stumble into Pirate Bay.
Lovely.
Nope, she didn't counterspell your spell. Cast your blade.
Then I need a con save from the one I was trying to cast it on.
Alrighty.
DC 16. No. Oh, damage.
Alright.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't roll the damage on that, but it's 8d8. So I might have to fix that later on. Try to just roll this one. I mean to click that. Where's that? Jesus Christ. My laptop's going crazy right now. No!
Hi, little boy. You're in my book
Now
now.
you have to do this way. There we go. 37.
Oh my god, yeah. So the woman who was demeaning you and basically attempting to take over your ship lets out a huge cry of pain as her body literally disintegrates from instantaneous rot all over it. And she collapsed into a pile of goo.
I said, do we really want to do this?
Alright, so should Run start rolling his tinkering tools?
Sure.
So, just as a clarification, I was on the side of the ship closest to their side of the ship to distract them, so their sneakers could do.
Yes.
So they lowered the gangplanks on that side of the ship. Did I go just all the way to the other side of the ship, or?
That's up to you.
Well, I had asked where I was in all this, and you said I was far away.
Sorry, I'm bad with voices. Sorry. Person on ship, you're wherever you still were. You haven't moved anywhere. If you're closest enough to the ship, that'd be with the same direction as the gangplanks.
And
So as the
Floof would still be right there beside you. Most likely, you'd probably feel your halberd on your foot.
when the captain or the woman disintegrates,
Yeah, that wasn't the captain, but yeah.
Huh?
She wasn't the captain, but you have no way of knowing that.
Right. When the person in charge came across and became gooified, I grab my halberd and I go to try and take an attack at the druid in the chaos of them being surprised that this happened.
All right, I would like you to give me a investigation check to see if you correctly identified which one of these people, the similarly dressed people coming overboard, is the druid that tried to counterspell. A lot of them are making weird gestures and yelling things, so in that chaos, it is not 100% that you identified which one was the druid. So that's why I need the investigation.
All right, let's roll. All right, that is a 14.
All right. You see a man with dirty hair and some weird trinkets on his arm, waving frantically at something that you're pretty sure is the druid. You wish to attack them?
Yes. Since they are not seeing, is that with advantage?
Correct.
All right. That is a 16. With advantage is what?
That would hit.
Okay. Let's see, and the halberd damage is.
And you roll a second time only to see if you get a nat 20 in order to for a crit.
All right, roll again.
Yeah, just roll again to see if you get the nat 20.
I did not.
All right,
Okay.
now you roll your damage. 6 slashing damage. The guy screams in pain and turns around. Meanwhile, Run, what are you doing exactly?
I am going to rig these cannons to where they cannot fire.
All right. You've only got time to rig one of them.
That's what I figured. And since I am not attacking or casting a spell, my invisibility should remain intact.
Correct.
So I would assume my tinkering tools.
All right. So you are currently preoccupied by attempting to tinker on one of these cannons, unseen by the others. Now for the poor guy who is stuck on a broom that has now been flown very far away, unaware of what's going on with his party. What do you want
Take her
to
out
do?
there. He went to the bathroom, but I imagine he's probably trying to make his way back to the ship.
Yeah.
And he said, yep. So would that be strength or...
That'd be wisdom save.
She's good at... Oh my god!
Wow. He sure ain't the brightest crayon in the box.
That's like 2 or 3 ones tonight for him. It's all the nat 20s that he was rolling before. Now's the karma.
It always equals out in the end.
Okay. I've written down all of my relative notes for this as this session comes to a close for this week. Hopefully by next week I will have a proper map to show a good setup for this. This was quite fun. Like I said, I hadn't exactly expected you guys to roll into the cove, but the storms... I was like this on pins and needles, hoping that the storms weren't gonna blow you off into the Chaos Islands. At which point, well, the likelihood of getting out of the Chaos Islands without having a wayfinder is very low. At least because it takes some people, if they ever get out, years to find a way out. So...
I can't believe I melted the captain in one spell. Like, I figured they would have more hit points than that.
Well, that was the first mate. And yeah, she had a good deal of hit points. You just managed to roll high enough to melt her. Blight is a serious spell.
Yeah. Hee hee hee. I love it.